got a plan, no need to fret. Found a way to help that you won't forget. Doctors lost the answers, but she found the key. Empowering ladies, setting us free. Battling the storm with courage and grace. Shayna's got the wisdom to help you embrace. No more relying on pills they don't know. She's got the strength to help you grow. Feel the power rising inside. Shayna's guidance right by your side. Life's getting brighter step by step. With Shayna's touch, you're gonna prep. Feel the power rising inside. Shayna's guidance right by your side. Life's getting brighter step by step. With Shayna's touch, you're gonna prep. Medicine shelves are emptying out. Finding real strength, that's what it's about. No more prescriptions tying you down. With Shayna's help, you'll wear the crown. Ladies, hear the call, it's time to rise. Shayna lifts the veil, opening eyes. No more shadows breaking your day. With her wisdom, fight pain away. Broken paths don't mean you're lost. To bear through the cost. Healing hearts one smile at a time. With Shayna, you'll shine forever and feel the power rising inside. Shayna's guidance right by your side. Life's getting brighter step by step. With Shayna's touch, you're gonna prep. Feel the power rising inside. Shayna's guidance right by your side. Life's getting brighter step by step. With Shayna's touch, you're gonna prep. You're gonna prep. Ladies and shelves are emptying out. Finding real strength, that's what it's about. No more prescriptions tying you down. With Shayna's help, you'll wear the crown. What's your story? What's your sign? It's like we're twin flames in a different life. Deep connection lights a spark. It's like you know me in the depths of my heart. We're dreamers. Don't care what other people say. We're living like this could be our final day. We're dreamers. Don't care what the others say. We're doing this in our way. We come alive in the nighttime. It's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive. We come alive. We come alive. What's your weakness? What's your type? Somehow I wanna know all about you. Deep connection lights a spark. You already know me when we dance in the strength deep inside. Shayna Melissa takes us on this ride from suffering to a life so free. Her healing touch should set you free.
Welcome, welcome. Do you guys ever have a problem in life and wish someone could relate, or better yet, tell you what they did to overcome that life obstacle? Or perhaps you have a passion and are too fearful to follow it, only to be kicking yourself, wishing, what if I had followed my passion? Or maybe some of you are here because you love Harley Davidson photorealistic, hyper photorealistic artwork of the world renowned celebrity artist Scott Jacobs. That's why we're here today. Tune in right now, right here. I am Shayna Melissa Stockman, the world wellness expert, the autoimmune expert who empowers mostly ladies to get and feel better when their doctors and meds didn't. I offer inspirational, transformational talks and so much more. So, I want to introduce to you our very, very special guest, the world renowned celebrity artist who's also a co author in our number one international best selling book, Overcoming Life Obstacles, Scott Jacobs. Scott Jacobs does such photorealistic, hyper photorealistic artwork that has been seen around the world, literally. His career spans, like mine, over 3 decades, and he's consistently overachieving better than he had in his prior work. He has influenced towns, jewelry, cruise ships, even the food and beer industry. In the 80s, Scott's career consisted of owning multiple galleries in the East Coast and painting portraits for collectors under a pseudonym Escotate, I might have botched slightly. Later in 1993, he broadened his portfolio by painting several for Harley Davidson, which actually made him the first licensed artist of Harley Davidson. His super photorealistic talent was recognized by Harley Davidson and many others. He's also been licensed for Chevrolet, Corvette Division, Hot Wheels, Carroll Shelby, Mustang, Ford, Marilyn Monroe estates, Elvis Presley estates, and several wineries literally around the world. His wine art has been seen by Park West Gallery, the world's largest art company, who has quickly signed him to a world tour. He is extremely well known for his hyper photorealistic artwork. It is his mastery of the style that audiences literally around the globe are in awe of, including myself. It can be seen in over 100 cruise ships and displayed in over 40 world-renowned museums. Most recently in Nashville, he just had his debut opening of his artwork in Nashville just a couple of days ago. And after 40 years success as an artist, Scott decided to open his own gallery, Jacobs Gallery in Deadwood, South Dakota, where the public can view some of his original artwork, a large collection of his vintage motorcycles, and his own apparel line. It includes a studio where Scott paints. He travels the world making appearances. His family even opened a restaurant, a cafe, and a brewery in Deadwood called Jacob's Brewery and Grocer. In August 23, Scott was inducted into the Motorcycle Hall of Fame in Sturgis, South Dakota. And let's not forget, he's also a number one international best-selling author in our book, Overcoming Life Obstacles, People, Real Stories. So, welcome, Scott. I finally get to take a breath because you have so many accolades. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy life for us today. Thank you for being
I'm excited to be here. It's been a long time. I was actually just refreshing my knowledge on the book. I hadn't seen it in a while, so I was just looking at it this morning, and
here.
hopefully
Yes.
everybody has one in their collection.
Ah, and thank you because Scott put some of his beautiful artwork inside the book. And let's not forget his beautiful daughter, a painting of her on the back cover. So we have, of course, myself, we have his beautiful daughter in a painting that he did, as well as Scott Jacobs on the back cover. Now, his artwork, this picture doesn't even do justice through the screen. His paintings look so photorealistic that if I took a photo and the painting, I would not even be able to tell the difference. So amazing. And Scott, thank you. I know you literally just flew in. I think the past few days you were just in Nashville. So, congratulations on another museum debut, having your artwork. You guys can visit that in Nashville. And then you also just went to LA, Hong Kong, Greece. And didn't you like just get back from Greece or something last night or somewhere? I don't
I
know.
just got back from Japan. Just got back from Japan a couple days. Well, actually, flew from Japan to LA to make an appearance at the Concorde Elegance, which is a large car event in San Diego. And then I came home for 2 days, and then went off to Nashville to the Montaven Museum Art and Cultural Center, where they had a retrospective that just opened on Thursday night, and that hangs through the middle of June, and it's all original paintings, about 40 on display in there, and it was a beautiful weekend.
Wow, that is amazing. I was in Nashville twice this year. Too bad not at the same time as you. Oh, Christopher says, "Hi, Scott. Look at his Mustang." His is actually signed by Shelby, and I understand some of your artwork was for Shelby and Mustang as well.
Yes, I actually I did two paintings for Carol Shelby. Of course, before his passing, I did a Cobra piece, and then I actually did a GT40 piece, which you guys have a slide of. It's a cluster of a bunch of Ford
Ooh,
GTs together in the same painting. He was
that
a great
is
man. I mean, iconic name in this industry, and I was very honored to do work for him.
That is incredible. And I'm so glad that you were blessed before his passing. Elizabeth says, "Hi, Shayna. Hi, Scott. Hi, Elizabeth. How are you doing?" Oh, I do want to give a very special shout out. It is Nurses Week to all my fellow nurses out there. I hope you guys have an absolutely amazing week. And please treat yourself this week at least as good as you treat your patients. For the viewers out there, drop in where you're tuning in from. We'd love to see your comments, stream them live across the screen. Oh, Bianca. Bianca says, "Hi, Scott and Shayna." Bianca actually invited me as one of the featured speakers a couple days ago at her wellness retreat, where I did lots of book signings, and a lot of people now have our book that were at the wellness summit on Long Island.
That's good to
And
hear.
Scott, yeah. Can you share with us maybe a little bit about your life obstacle? Because I know we both wrote in the book about a life obstacle, because a lot of people think no one can relate to me, no one knows what I'm going through, no one had the same experience. But I know a lot of people out there can relate to your story, and your sharing your story with the world might help them over realize they're not alone in their similar struggle, but also more importantly, they can use the techniques that you use to overcome your life obstacle and probably get better themselves. So, can you share with us a quick minute of your life obstacle and what helped you overcome it?
Well, it was 2016. I was a beautiful day. I was racing a 1915 Harley Davidson across country on what's called the Cannonball Race, and came around a turn in Western Maryland and hit gravel. I was doing okay, because you can hit gravel and still stay up and just kind of
Mm,
slide around as if you're on ice. But I was coming into an intersection, so I laid my motorcycle down. It's a defensive move to try to stop from hitting a car, or getting into an intersection. And then the bike, as I was sliding, just high sided me and threw me in the air. I landed upside down on my shoulder and the side of my head, and fractured my humerus really bad. I severed my biceps, my ulnar nerve, my rotator attachments, and basically spent 8 days in a hospital in Maryland. And they told me I probably would never paint again because of all the damage I did to my muscles and my ulnar nerve and so on. And so over the next couple of years, I did heavy rehab. I couldn't even sign my name at that point. And here I am, a right-handed artist. That's all I've done for the last 30 something years is paint. And so I didn't know what I was going to do with myself. That was the reason I opened up the restaurant and the brewery, was because I figured I need to do something different, and I was ready to make it a restaurateur, which I still am today. But how I overcome it, one step at a time. I started painting lefty, which I wasn't real good at. It didn't look anything like what you see, behind me, or if you Google me online. It was very rough. I'm not ambidextrous. My left hand, it felt really awkward to have a pen or a pencil or paintbrush in it. So those early paintings that I did lefty are very different than what you see by me today.
Mm.
It was a few years after my surgery that a surgeon came over and said, I think the issue you're having with your hand, because my hand was really numb, I couldn't really feel three of my fingers. So he said, I think that you have an impacted ulnar nerve that is all got scar tissue around it. So that's really pressing on your ulnar nerve. And that they wanted to cut me open again. And at this point, I've got a metal rod in my humerus, and I've got a ball at the top, and I've got a piece at the top to accept this in my glenoid. And so they cut me open, they pulled it out, they put a new piece in there, totally different one, put a bunch of screws in, and then came over to my house a few days ago and started poking me with a pen. And he said, Can you feel that? And I said, Yes. And he goes, Well, you couldn't a few days ago. So the right decision to cut me open again and fix it again. So it's just a retraining. I stuck with it because, I mean, art has been my love for my entire life, and I couldn't imagine not doing it anymore. I mean, being a
Mm.
restaurateur and walking around saying hi to everybody's kind of fun, but it's you don't get to
Yes.
travel doing that. You don't get to be put up on a pedestal, and I didn't want to disappoint my lifelong collectors. So I really wanted
Ah.
to get back to it. It took a number of years, but I overcome it by sticking with it and practicing and working through the pain.
Thank you. I think it's important. Mindset had to be a huge piece of it. Like, hey, you had to have the desire. You had to have the mindset. Oh, Tim says hi. I believe Tim is in Europe. I think he's in Greece. So you guys might have just missed each other by a couple of days in
No,
Greece. Um,
I go to on Friday.
okay, okay.
Friday I go
Well,
to
maybe
two
okay.
days from
I
now.
think Tim is in Greece, if I recall, because him and his beautiful other half invited me there recently. So I think it was important. One, you had to have the mindset that the desire had to be stronger than the excuses. You had to have the mindset that it's possible, that you can do it, that you can overcome. And I think you have to have perseverance and persistence and take consistent action and just never ever quit. So if you guys have a similar problem out there where you had a traumatic injury that might have ended your career, might have been a football career, a basketball career, a hockey career, and you're like, hey, can I ever get back to doing what I was doing? I highly suggest you read Scott's chapter. And I actually titled it Out of Left Field just for that reason, because I know your first painting after your accident was left-handed and you titled it Left Field. Out of Left Field. So our book, you guys can get it from Scott directly or worldwellnessexpert.com/OLO. That's the acronym for the book, Overcoming Life Obstacles. You can get the digital version, a paperback. You can reach out to us for a signed copy. So I hope you guys pick up a copy at worldwellnessexpert.com/OLO. And so thank you for sharing your story, because there's a lot of people that were into pro athletes that all of a sudden had an end of a career. So it might have been a different career, but they can still relate to it and use some of your gold nuggets. Bianca says, truly incredible. You're exactly where you're meant to be in this. This is no accident. Thank you for having the courage to share. God bless you. Thank you, Bianca. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
That's very
And
nice.
Scott, yes, thank you. And Scott, can you share with us those out there that are afraid to follow their passion, that maybe they wouldn't succeed? There's a lot of people that are passionate about something but didn't pursue it as a career because maybe they were told by society, you won't make money in that, you can't make a career, or they didn't think they would be successful. Do you have a gold nugget on what helped you pursue your passion versus going to college and just getting a 9 to 5 blue collar or white collar job?
Well, it starts, of course, with the desire. And I
Mm.
knew early on that I was pretty good at painting and drawing and things like that. And I wanted to make that my career. So, as a good friend of mine from New Jersey used to say, you got to keep throwing it up against the wall, and sometimes it sticks. You've got to figure out what is the obstacle. What is it? Why is your career not going in the direction that you wanted to. Maybe you need to speak to other people that are more successful than you in that field and try to find out how they overcame it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with asking questions, which I've done
Yes.
my entire career. I'm not afraid to ask for help. I'm not afraid to ask for opinions. Even on paintings that I finish, I've had my wife Sharon many times that have had me go back and say, well, I like it, but I think you could go ahead and change this a little bit
Aw.
or change that a little bit. And if, in fact, Sharon actually is overcoming an obstacle with her shoulder right now. She had a pretty severe injury to her shoulder just from frozen shoulder and some other issues that was going on. So
Mm.
she's where I was, 10 years ago, trying to overcome that now. But I think you really just got to stick it. You got to keep going, and you make a little
Yes.
stride each time. Eventually, the steps get shorter and they're easy to go up. And some of them are big. Some of you don't get to the top with one bound. That doesn't happen. It's not overnight. I remember every step it took to get to me or get me to where I am today, and I appreciate all those. I'm still traveling all over the world. Like you said, I just got back from Hong Kong, Japan, go to Greece on a Friday, and it's all part of promoting.
Mm.
You got to be willing to do the work to get to where you want to be in life. And I've been willing to
Yes.
do my work. I'm looking forward to slowing down. I need to slow down. I'm 66 years old now, and I'm still working as hard as I ever have,
Wow.
which well, it's all I know. I mean, I've got friends older than me that are still, like Gary Puckett, the famous singer, still traveling around the world at 83 years old. And he just loves it. It's part of his fabric. And
Oh,
being an artist and doing this, it's just what I do.
yes.
But you do need to
And
smell roses. That's working on that as well.
I think this is such beautiful artwork. You guys out there might think this is a photo. This is not. This is what one of Scott's pieces. And what I love about his work, especially the Harleys, in the chrome, you can actually see reflections of like the trees off in the distance. This is such beautiful. It's not only photorealistic, it's hyper photorealistic. And if I had a photo next to the painting, I would not be able to differentiate. Look at the bubbles. Look at the bubbles in the wine glass, the flame, and you could just see the air, the reflection off of the wine glass, off the bottle, where you see the accurate reflection of the candle next to it, the shadowing even on the corkscrew. This is one of my that was one of my favorite pieces right there. That was called Unwind, I believe. And this one, if you look close, you will see the reflection of the trees. Oh my God, look at that. Palm trees in the chrome. Oh my God, this is such beautiful work, Scott. Do you care to share with us? Is this one titled, I think, Reflections?
Yeah, that one's the chrome motorcycle is called Reflections on Canvas. That was an all chrome Fat Boy. So as you can see on the back of the front fender is a reflection of the engine and everything and the sky. So everything I had to paint basically twice because you had the reflection of it too as well. That piece was
Yes.
insane. That got me the nickname the King of Chrome
Wow.
back in the early '90s, and it's
Wow.
still one of my favorite Harley Davidson paintings I've ever done. I did that down at Daytona Beach, Florida.
Yes.
Love that
Wow.
piece. Actually, the collection of slides that you have are some of my favorites. The one of the cars is the one I was talking about earlier, which was done for Carol Shelby with all the GT40s.
Oh, that
Beautiful
one you
painting. I love
did for Carol Shelby. Okay. This one I love because like you said, you had to paint everything twice, the trees and the trees in the chrome. Even you see the reflection of the bicycle in the bicycle and the palm trees and the sun. It is absolutely like this is one of my favorite pieces. Hands down. You are my favorite artist in the entire world, just so you know. Entire world.
Thank you
And I'm
so
sure a
much.
lot of yeah, you are.
I love that piece. That's called "Mum's the Word," and I just love the lighting in the background and the way the vase you can see through it. The most
Yes.
time-consuming part of that painting is the flowers themselves, all the petals on the mums.
Wow. And look at even the bubbles of the water, the reflection in the water. of the I don't know, I mean, it's just incredible, incredible. The shadowing, just the shadowing of each petal. Oh, tell us about this piece. I love this one as well.
That's a fun piece. That's called For Your Eyes Only. About 10 years ago, I started a series of mask paintings. And that all started when I was in Venice one time with my daughters and Sharon, and they were trying on different masks at a kiosk in Venice. And I started taking photos. And then I decided one day to look through my computer and see what photo reference I have in there that might be interesting to paint. I came across these mask photographs, and then I started zooming in closer and closer on them. And it got to the point where it's basically just the face or just the eyes. And that's where it was the most interesting. So that particular painting has all crystals all over it. And it's a stunning piece. I
Wow.
love that. And it was actually the face of the first women's watch that I designed was that as well. So you could have gotten a lady's watch with that as the face.
Wow. Yes, we didn't even mention that you do watches and I think even Mattel. I mean, I'm in awe of your work. Then we have some more comments. Bianca's like, wow. Yes, the motorcycle piece is outstanding. Thank you, Bianca. She's saying it's truly incredible. Um, Thank you guys for the comments. Keep them coming in. And let's talk more about oh, there we go. Wait. Okay. Okay, so if you guys want a daily dose of inspiration, of course, pick up one of Scott's paintings at his gallery. We'll drop the website here. Definitely pick up a copy of our book at worldwellnessexpert.com. But also, I have a daily dose of inspiration. It gives you a 30 screensavers, a different one every single day for 30 with a positive, inspirational message. They are beautiful. You can use them as screensavers for your phone or your laptop, and a different message every single day. We all need a daily dose of positivity. It's absolutely free. The website's just worldwellnessexpert.com/30, I believe, or just worldwellnessexpert.com. And what else? Um, Scott, I also like to share a fun fact. Now, you are so worldly, I don't even know, but maybe you can share with us a fun fact, something most people don't know about you.
Maybe that I was a drummer for many, many years. Started playing drums at 12 years old and have had the honor of playing with Gary Lewis and the Playboys, Gary Puckett in the Union Gap, Eddie Money, Thompson Square. I've sat in with a lot of famous bands over the years, and I played on the road for a long time with my brother Dallas and my other brother Todd. We had a band together for quite some time, and we traveled and played 3, 4 nights a week around New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania, and that was a big part of my life. And when I started getting well known as an artist, I was still playing drums up till around the beginning of the '80s. Actually, right before I stopped, right before I met my wife Sharon. And 40 years this year, we'll be married. 40 years, crazy. But
Wow.
probably that I was a pretty good drummer, and that's I don't know if that's my first love or my second love because music is amazing. I listen to it all day while I paint, and I could go back and play full time. Maybe I'd do that too because that's a very enjoyable part of my life.
I'm wondering if I saw you play back in the day somewhere. I mean, how cool would that be? Perhaps.
Yeah.
And I want to give another shout out. Julie from New York says, hi, Melissa, because, that's my former name, and Scott. Thank you for sharing your beautiful artwork and your story. You're truly amazing. Melissa, you too. Thank you for hosting the magnificent artwork. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, there's just so much I want to ask you, and I know we're so limited on time. And I wanted to give a shout out to your beautiful children, Olivia, Alexa, your wife Sharon, for 40 years. That is amazing. Congratulations. Woohoo. Anniversary coming up. Your Jackie, I understand, has your assistant also has artwork in your gallery, I believe.
It does, yeah. Here at Jacobs Gallery, we're right on Main Street in Deadwood, and a lot of people. One of the things that people ask me, because I grew up in New Jersey, then we moved to San Diego, and then how did you, people say, how did you end up in the Black Hills? And what brought me here originally was the Sturgis Rally, and it's the largest motorcycle rally in the world, and I've done the cover art for that since 1995. So it's this is my 31st year this year. And my daughter Alexa has her work in here. If you want to check her art out, it's Alexa Jacobs artwork, and she goes by the name Lex, Lex. And then Olivia, she goes by Liv, Liv photography. She has her work in here, and Jacqueline Reinhardt is in here too. And then we've
Yes.
got Buck Lovell and Tracy Lovell's photography. Tracy's been running our gallery for 10 years. So the Jacobs Gallery has a whole array of Jacobs family artwork in here, plus Jackie and
Nice.
then the Lovell's photography in here as well. But it's a beautiful space. It's 5,000 square feet downstairs, and we probably have maybe 150 pieces of art on the walls as we speak right now. It's like a little museum.
Wow.
As you can see behind me, it's some beautiful motorcycles. The red one is a 1937 Knucklehead, and the white one behind me is a 1945 WL, which is a civilian version of the WLA, which was used by the military during World War II.
Wow. 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 I'm still in the wow mode. um I can't wait to come to your gallery one day, check it out. I mean, who knows? Maybe we'll do a live book signing somewhere. Maybe at the gallery or somewhere. Who knows? Or
It's a
Greece or
beautiful
somewhere.
space. Beautiful space, and we're just starting to kick off, because during the winter, depending if we have a lot of snow, we have, it's kind of slow. It's a seasonal location here, but summer is just about to kick off here, so we can see the
Nice.
traffic getting busier and busier every day at our restaurant. And also here, our restaurant's only 2 blocks away. It's called Jacob's Brew House. Very proud of that. We brought a lot of I think class to Deadwood, and the community has really embraced us and our family, so we're very proud of what we've done here in town.
That is awesome. I can't wait to come check it out one day. And who knows, maybe we'll do that book signing at the brewery or something. Have a couple brews and I don't know. Um, wow, that and I understand you have some upcoming events too at the gallery. And I think when they go to your website, jacobsgalleryshop.com, they can see up the upcoming events, correct? I
I
believe
believe
so.
so. I think my daughter Olivia keeps up on those things. You can go to jacobsgalleryshop.com, and then you could become an insider. An insider is a like a mailing list, and we
Ah,
don't mail much at all. We might do 6 or 8 emails a year, believe it or not. And that's for upcoming events. We have new release parties here where all the artists release their newest pieces, and we do that like 4 or 5 times a year. So those are on our schedule. So you can come or you can watch it. Sometimes we do it live on our Facebook page, so you can see the unveiling. We host a big event in October here in the gallery too, which is one of our favorite things that we do, and it's called the Wild West Songwriters Festival, where famous singers and songwriters come in and they play at different events or different spaces around Deadwood. And that's a lot of people's favorite thing that happens here. It's amazing. We turn the gallery basically into a nightclub. We put about 100 chairs in here. We've got great sound. We built a stage, and the stage actually goes right behind me where those two motorcycles are. And it's an amazing event. There's tons of stuff that happen in Deadwood all the time, from a large
nice.
rodeo that happens every year. I think it's the 101st year for that to happen. Music events.
Wow.
There's all If you haven't been to the Black Hills, you need to come, because where I'm sitting
No.
right now, well, Deadwood, you figure, is probably the most famous Western town in the United States. The building where I'm
Wow.
sitting is where Jack McCall got captured, who's the gentleman that killed Wild Bill Hickok. Calamity Jane is from here. All these famous people from Deadwood, and then you're an hour away from Crazy Horse and the Devil's Tower, Mount Rushmore, Spearfish Canyon, Custer State Park. The Badlands are 2 hours away. I mean, what a place for a vacation! Great place to camp, great place to RV. It's just beautiful here.
I can't believe I've never been there before. If those walls could talk, imagine what they would say from history from 100, 200 years ago. That's absolutely amazing. I do, since this just popped up, I want to plug that my upcoming live Reclaim Your Life Power Hour Super Workshop from the comfort of your couch. Ladies, especially the ladies out there, there's hundreds of hours in the month. Why don't you just take this one to reclaim your life? It's really going to help move your needle forward, especially if you're suffering with symptoms of pain, fatigue, brain fog, autoimmune disorders, medical mysteries, problems since you had the mandate, the protection or infection. It's live online on Zoom. You must register. For the viewers on here, it's absolutely free for now, but it will soon have a price point. So just register worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim. I believe it is on Thursday, June 12th, 7 p.m. EST. Yes, Thursday, June 12th, 7 p.m. EST. It's going to be 1 hour out of hundreds this week. You are worthy, you are deserving, especially if you're suffering with symptoms, medical mysteries, autoimmune. Go to worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim and claim your free seat now while it is free, 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 free. You can't get better than that. Of course, there's a VIP option as well. And this was truly an honor, Scott. And I feel blessed that Scott asked me for a signed copy of the book. And I'm like, I want like a signed copy of one of your art pieces. I'll get in the future. But yeah, so thank you. I feel honored and privileged that you asked me for a signed copy. And again, check it out. It has Scott on the back cover, his painting with his beautiful daughter in it. Of course, a little picture of me down there. Worldwellnessexpert.com/OLO. And I know for Anne and Alan watching, they're new fans of yours. Their copy of the book is now en route to you in Washington. Shout out to you guys. I know you're on as well. And Elizabeth says she wants to go. So now that we're wrapping it up, because it's been like 30, you have any final words for the viewers?
I mean, you don't have to have an accident to have an obstacle in your life, and it's all about
Yes.
attitude, perseverance, and try to overcome it. And there's nothing wrong with asking for help. I mean, if you need help, ask for it. I mean, that's what
Yes.
I mean. Friends, there's
Yes.
so many times where you ask for help and you don't really want to help, or you don't. That's not what I meant to say. You don't really want to ask for help, and because you feel
Yes.
like you're inconveniencing somebody. But if you have true friends, they want to help. I mean, they're honored that you would actually reach out and ask for help. And a lot of
Yes.
people are, they just don't want to do that. And I believe that you really need to. I know that, I've got neighbors around where I live at home, and I'm not afraid to call up my next door neighbor, Ron, and say, hey, I need some help doing this or that, or Sharon and I are heading out of town. Can you feed the horses? Because I want them to ask me. I want them to ask me for, to help
Right.
if they need it. There's nothing wrong with it. So my last words would be, if you need help, you're trying to overcome some obstacle. Maybe you can't do it on your own. Ask for help. Reach out to somebody.
That is such great advice. Do you know it took me like 50 years to realize that one? I am not going to lie. That is so important. Often we don't ask for help. So I think you brought up great points about trying to overcome your own obstacle. First, we have to have the desire stronger than the excuses. We need the mindset that it is possible, that our dreams can come true. We need positive, surround ourselves with the most positive team players. We need to ask for help. Sometimes we need to say no. And it's important to fail. Maybe Scott, his first painting wasn't the best, but you just got better and better and better and better. So it is important to say no, ask for help, persevere, don't quit, keep consistent action steps, and just never, ever quit. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. That was amazing advice. So blessed to have you on here, to be here. Elizabeth says she can't wait to go to the gallery and the cowboy town. And Scott, I didn't know you have horses. Horses are the most beautiful animal. Maybe we can get a painting of the horses one time.
I haven't. I've only done one painting of horses. It was a commission. Somebody had four horses. They were all They were all passed. They had all passed, and so they sent me a bunch of photos, and I painted them all together in one, as if they were all still together.
Ooh.
And I think that's the only horse I've ever done. My daughter Olivia, she photographs horses, her horses, and they're beautiful animals. I agree with you. I love watching them in the pasture. I love them when you let them out after a few rainy days and let them out in the pasture,
Yes.
and they just run like crazy and buck and
Yes.
roll upside down in the mud, and yeah, it's beautiful, very
And
relaxing.
I have a funny story about this. Recently, a new client of mine has horses, and the horse was limping. And it's a big expense to drive it like an hour to the vet, and then all the testing and the injections and the medicines. So I actually helped her horse get better because we use the same techniques we do with the people. And then she was like, well, wait, shouldn't I be doing that? And I'm like, yes. So I activate genes and genetic highways and turn on genetic switches to reduce cellular inflammation, rid toxins, make more mitochondria required for the cells to live. Really cutting edge stuff. And it was funny that I helped her horse first, and then she reached out to me as a client. So the horses are beautiful, but I saw it was limping and definitely needed some help. And I think it had some prior trauma to it because it seemed a little bit skittish. And that was the first horse ever that seemed a little bit skittish with me. Um, so thank you, thank
You
you,
never
thank
know.
you. And hey, you know what? Apparently, I'm helping dogs and horses, not so much the cats, but a lot of the same techniques I do with the humans are working on the dogs and the horses as well, because a lot of their makeup is similar. Their cells, their inflammation, their toxins. It's a lot of the same ways. In fact, it was a pro jockey that actually taught me about how to activate genes and genetic highways because he had learned it from his doctor. So it's a weird cycle, but a lot of the jockeys are activating their genes and doing cutting edge sciences as well. Bianca said horses are extremely intelligent and intuitive. Yes, they know who likes them and who doesn't. So this was a
That's,
very, yeah, this was
I was
very
going to say,
great. And I'd say,
sorry, I was going to say that you could actually teach a horse a trick. I mean, I remember teaching our horses when we had them back in California how to shake. So you would put your hand out and shake. You basically lift their knee up and then give them a treat, and you would say shake, and then they do it. I mean, it just took minutes to train the horses to shake, and then they never forgot. It was just amazing. So they are very smart animals, definitely.
they are beautiful. And Bianca says she works, I work with them in somatic healing. All right, Bianca. So we have complementary services. We can both get the horses even better, even quicker. That would be awesome. And I thank you again, Scott, for being here. And I would skate for you guys, if you're watching, wherever you're tuning in from, follow Scott's Gallery on Facebook, Instagram. Follow me as well, Shayna Melissa Stockman. Subscribe to the YouTube channel at Shayna Melissa. It's absolutely free. You'll be notified of the upcoming live streams. Next week, we have live on the Shayna Show at 1 Eastern, same time, same place. The beautiful Beth Granger. I can't wait to have her on. So thank you again, Scott of Jacobs Gallery Shop.com. I can't wait to get your signature on a piece. I gotta pick out a nice piece or something, and maybe see you down there in Dakota at the brewery or do some book signings or something. So again, go to jacobsgalleryshop.com, pick out a piece. Maybe Scott will ship it to you. Check out his beautiful artwork by his daughters Alexa, Olivia, his assistant Jackie, the wild artwork by a different artist as well. I think the wild animals, right? Photography by your other artist.
Yeah, yep. Olivia does some local animals and things. So does Buck. Actually, he's passed away, but Buck
Uh,
has quite a few
oh,
local buffaloes and animals, and Tracy's done that as well. But we've got a lot of local scenes and things from Olivia's travels, and we just have her new photography book that just came out as well. So if you want to check
oh,
her stuff out, it's LIV Photography, I believe .com. Lived photography, and then Alexa Jacobs artwork. If you want to check out my daughter's pieces, or just go to jacobsgalleryshop.com and check out the website, and pretty easy to navigate around it. You can peruse and see everything that's
awesome.
going on.
Yes, yes. Your jacobsgalleryshop.com has I saw all the artists there in section, so you can check them all out. It's beautiful artwork. And again, so go to jacobsgalleryshop.com, follow us on socials, click that subscribe button if you're watching on Scott's channel or mine or both. And of course, join the Reclaim Your Life Super Workshop live Power Hour online. It is June 12th at 7 p.m. EST. It's absolutely free right now, so register while you can at worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim. Take this 1 hour. You are worthy, you are deserving. And I thank you again, Scott, for your precious time from traveling the world to just sit down for a good 30 plus minutes with us and share.
Pleasure to be here.
All right, sharing your beautiful artwork, your life obstacle that you overcame. Thank you again, Scott. Thank you, viewers, for watching and subscribing. And all right, guys, be until next time, next Wednesday, 1 p.m. right here, Eastern Time. Be well, biohack, and I like to say OLO. OLO is the app for our book, Overcoming Life Obstacles. OLO means you overcame your life obstacle. We all helped each other up. Hey, Chris. And at the top, we all celebrated together. So I like to say OLO. So instead of like, yes, you did it, say OLO, right? It means you overcame your life obstacle and then you optimistically lift others. It's a double acronym. All right, guys.
Finding the strength deep inside. Shayna Melissa takes us on this ride from suffering to a life so free. Her healing touch, she'll set you free with a heart so pure.